3, 2, 1.
Three, two, one.
I'm thinking of it.
Do it.
It's done. I can't take it.
Fuck it, then just
Can't
do it.
take
I mean, if you want it, get it. You know, I mean, it's in Turkey, it's not that bad, to be honest. I mean, the procedures there versus stateside are very affordable. You obviously have to be careful where you go, but I mean, you do anywhere. I mean, there's bad, hair transplant places in North America, just like there is in Turkey or anywhere overseas. But the medical tourism over there is huge, and you can find some really good. Like the place that we went, there's a couple others. Like we went to Now Hair Time. There's another place called Hair of Istanbul. Like I think there's a couple places that are really well renowned. And I think the procedure kind of runs like $2 to $4 grand US for it versus like you'd be spending 15 to 20K plus in the US if you wanted
Yeah,
to
we just got a trip to Tulum. That's like Mexico resort price.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
here you can travel.
Yeah, so like you go on a little trip, stay a couple days over there, get it done. I mean, for the whole trip, if you get a hotel and flights plus the thing, you might spend $6 grand, $7 grand. So I mean, and get your hair done. So you're spending like a third of what you'd be spending to get done stateside. Lee doesn't need that yet. He's still got the fucking flow going there.
Look at that. Fucking get up at 3 a.m. and look at this dew in the morning. I'll tell you.
Lee, did you just wake up? Like literally just wake up?
About 3:30. It's 4 a.m. now.
Hey, I have to ask this because I saw you at the Arnold's a long time ago. You were at the valet station. It's a long story, but I don't know if you remember this. I freaked out. I didn't know it was you until you turned around. I saw your tattoo. And I was like yelling at you because I thought you were just some competitor. But you were super nice about it. And I'm like, wait a second, are you Lee Priest? And you took a video with me. I don't know if you remember any of this. It was pretty funny. But it was like 4 in the morning. And then I saw you the following day at like 4 something, taking a walk in Ohio. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing up so early every day at an expo?
I've always got up earlier because when I used to train, like get ready for contests here, my grandfather used to do cardio with me, and he was always an early riser. So I'd always get up at 4 and 5 and go to the gym. And even I said my grandfather was one of those who used to do wrestling in the army, so he was always regimented on times and shit. And even when I was 15 and 16, it could be winter time, it's pissing down rain. I'm thinking, fuck yes, I get to sleep in today. I just pull the blankets back over. Next thing, on the bedroom window, I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I look out, he's out there, raincoat, in the rain, on the bike. Let's go. I'm like, you fucking old bastard. I'm like, if he's got to do it, I got to do it. So it just sort of got drilled into me. I've always been that way.
So now you're set. Like, so 4 a.m. is your waking
normally
hour.
3:45, around 3:45. So then, because if I get up at 4, then I feel
What time
like
do you
I'm
go to bed?
behind. If I go to bed about 8:30. Because normally by 6 I might start watching movies and I start doing the.
Yeah. And my wife, Melissa's not too far different. She's like maybe an hour shifted later than you. She might go to bed at like 9:30, and she'll be up at like 4:30 to 5:30. So she's like just about like an hour and a half later than that. But she's pretty similar schedule.
And the good thing is I'm good. As long as all day I don't get tired. It's only if I keep going all day, I'm fine. It's when when you stop.
Yeah.
If I just sit for like 30 minutes, I'll just watch a bit of YouTube. Then I'm like, fuck, I got to get up and go do something. So
you got to keep moving. Yeah.
When you turn on Netflix, right? So, thanks for joining us. I mean, it's
I got the good mug today. Look at
that. Do you get that just for us, just for our podcast? Good morning, fuckers.
No, actually, my mum buys me shit like this for some reason. She thinks I'm rude.
Nice.
She knows her son well, obviously.
Oh yes, too well.
The apple doesn't fall very far from the tree, right?
She watches podcasts sometimes. She goes, Lee, why did you have to say that? Why do you use the C word so much? I'm like, Mum, come on.
Do your parents still bodybuild?
No, my mum, she only did it for like the 3 years. Her goal was to do the couples with me, and we did that. And then after that, she did it for like another 2 years. And then when my daughter was doing it, she did it for like 2 or 3 years and got her pro card in the WBFF one, whatever that was. And then she sort of stopped and got a real job. So I'm thinking, I'm the only fucking idiot that kept on going. I should have fucking quit.
Yeah.
What about keeping going? Ian, been seeing a lot of posts here, busy man. So you went to Turkey.
Yeah.
I had a question for you because the other day I just finished a regional competition and I allow myself treats and stuff. And it's the only time in the year where I'll like devour a box of Oreos. So I was thinking, like, now that you're retired from comps, like you're
Mhm.
no longer competing, I take it you're still pretty serious about your diet and stuff, but is there like a specific food you just let go off, you let like go completely on?
Not really. I mean, I'm not like a big foodie like that. Like I kind of just like eat the foods that I like and that are easy and I have prepared. And I don't really ever get like, and if I want something like that, like I would never limit myself if I was feeling that I wanted that much. Like I'm not like, oh my God, I can't have it. I don't give a shit. I mean, like it's not like I care, you know. But it's not like if I was going to eat something like a box of cookies, I might have like 3 or 4 cookies and be like, I'm good, like I'm never going to eat 35 of them until I'm like throwing up. That's just like not in my head.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've obviously had those times after a show when you've been like dieting hard for 16, 20 weeks, and the time comes after the show and you just want to fucking eat everything. For sure, I've had some of those, but like in my daily life now, I'm not like hungry. I've got my like food pretty good right now, so that I'm like never hungry, but it's also I'm never full. So and my energy's good. So I'm able to still train at a good level. So it allows so that I don't really ever need to, go eat a bunch of shit. It's just not really something I'm big on now.
Come
So
on,
there's
Ian.
absolutely no like,
We've seen Ian still got abs and he's still shaving, so he's not fully retired. You got to
Yeah.
be like me, hairy. You got the love handles. My boxer shorts are starting to turn over 3 times at the top. That's when you know you're fully retired.
Yeah, I'm hairy 99% of the time now, except for if I'm like, okay, I haven't posted, I got to take a picture, then I got to shave down, and then I let it grow for another 6 weeks. But when I was competing, I was like, especially when I would get into contest prep and I would have coaches that wanted to see progress photos like every day, even I would be anal with like shaving every single day because I wanted my hair to be the exact same thing every day. If it was like a little bit of stubble, I'm like, I'm gonna look worse in the photos. I had to shave. So I would be like in a prep, I'd be shaving my chest and back like 7 days a week.
did you use that the
I post a
hostile?
picture.
No, go ahead,
I
Lee.
post I post a picture now, and that's all over here. Why don't you shave? Look how hairy your arms are. And it's like, fuck, what am I going to shave for? What fuck? It's like, I just went to Russia. Everyone in Russia was hairy, so I don't care.
And I use that Phillips one blade. That one seems to be the best one I've come across in my entire career. They're like the best one that you can shave with them every day, and you don't need to worry about like irritating or anything. They're really good.
You got to send me that because I've been trying the new razors from Walmart. It's weird. It's like what do they call it? Shrinkflation. Like everything's gotten more expensive, but shittier. And
Yeah.
it's like the same thing with razor blades. I buy like the $15, $16 razor blades that come with the $20, $40 expansion packs, and they don't even trim anymore. Like they don't even work.
Yeah, I'll see if I can show you this one.
Here in Australia, like if you buy a razor, then you buy the little heads that go on. I get the 5-blade one,
Yeah.
but even just a pack of 5 here is like $42 just for the new blades and shit. So occasionally I'll buy the cheap ones. Every time I buy the cheap ones, you go, fuck, cut
Your
myself,
skin out.
cut myself.
Your skin out. When's the last time you were in Canada, Lee? You got to come here. Oh, man, you want to talk
Oh.
about shit prices.
No,
Like
well,
everything's
I think Australia, because we're part of the Commonwealth, we're just as shitty as you. We got a shitty prime minister, shitty government. We're not. I think Canada and Australia are on the shit level the same when it comes to
Yeah,
right
prices
about
and
on par.
the way the government runs the place. Yeah, but
Yeah, that's
I
funny.
was, I
That's
was trying. I
funny.
was trying to show you guys the one blade specifically, but I can't share my screen here. But yeah, no, they're really good. They're the blades. It's how they get you with all those things. Like the one blade is fucking really. The blades are very expensive, but the razor itself is cheap. But they last a
yeah.
long time. It's an electric razor. It's not like a actual blade razor, so it works
Okay.
really good, but shaves really short. It's the best one I've used, and I've tried like every single one.
Did you ever, when you were bodybuilding, try that Nair hair cream and it used to burn
Oh
your
yeah,
skin and stunk
that's
like shit?
that fucked me up. That stuff fucked me up. I would always, no matter how many times I like tried to get my body acclimated to it, I would always get a bad reaction from it. Yeah.
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 There's
No.
nothing. But my mom was an esthetician, so I was fortunate enough to be a guinea pig as a kid. So we
Oh
tried
yeah.
the Nair. Yeah, oh yeah. when you guys ever do the waxing, like the straight strips?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
my
Oh
mum,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
my mum did the waxing, and that's why I said I fucked up because I was 10 years old and I come home from school. This is when waxing first come out. It was the new thing. It must have been the early 80s and waxing just came out. And my mum thought, okay, you got to put the wax on. So I come home from school. She had a whole pot of wax melted. But I come home from school, we had the old linoleum kitchen floor, the fake tiles. My mum's sitting on the floor naked. Her legs are covered in wax. She's stuck to the kitchen floor because she just poured the wax all over her legs from waist to ankles. So now I'm trying to pry my mum off the floor with a knife while she's naked. I said, this is why I fucked up. You come home from school and see your mum covered in wax stuck to the kitchen floor. It does damage to your brain. So we got to get her off the floor. We finally get her off the floor and she has to go in the bath. And she turns the bath water on that hot, but then I had to boil water in the kettle and put hot water in there just to get the wax off her legs. And she's picking it off. By the time she got it off, her legs were bleeding. It was like, I said, Mum, I think it says you only got to do a little bit and do that. She just covered her legs from top to bottom, like just.
God.
Early childhood trauma.
Oh, I tell
Early
you.
childhood trauma, man. Oh my God! Oh shit! We've got James in the and Terrence. I wonder how long they've been in there.
Just
No,
left it in
they've
there.
Yeah, I just I left them in the
Hey,
hello,
So,
Gentlemen.
James. How
Hey,
long
hey.
have you been in the waiting room, James?
making you
Oh
wait.
no. I was on the toilet and I sent a message into the Insta and I was like, what time are we doing it, boys? And then Ruff pointing out we were meant to be on 10 minutes ago. So hello, everybody.
Oh wait,
How
you
you
were
doing?
on the toilet, but you were talking to Terrence at
I
the
always,
rough.
dude, I'm on the phone when I'm on the toilet. You know what it's
course.
like.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's prime phone use time. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
In
the
the
only
old
time to
days,
use
it
the phone.
used to be the newspaper or a book. Now it's the phone.
Precisely. Precisely.
We actually got a memo at work. We're not allowed to talk on the phone in the toilet booths.
Gosh.
I've just opened a can of Pepsi Max, boys. Sorry. So just a little advertisement there. The best.
Pepsi Max.
Is it the new sponsor, James?
Huh?
Lighting, Jack.
I just like Pepsi Max more than regular Pepsi. I don't know why.
I was doing that
oh,
for
yeah.
a while. I was doing that for a while, Pepsi Max and then the diet drinks. I'm like, why am I kidding myself? Because I'm having the Pepsi Max and then I'm going to eat a bowl of ice cream and candy. I'm like, and my wife goes, why are you having the Pepsi Max? I'm like, you know what? Just give me the fucking real Pepsi. I'm fucking fuck the sugar. I'm eating that anyway, so I might as well just drink it.
We all do it, don't we? Go out for something to eat, cheat meal or whatever you call it, and then we order the Diet Coke or the Diet Pepsi. It's just, I don't know, just one of the things.
Cheat meal. I call them just meals now.
Regular meals.
They're just meals. They're just meals.
The meal.
Meal 1, 2, and 3.
Clear something
nice.
up since we have you here, Lee, because like we see these pictures of you with the buckets of KFC, and I've seen this numerous times. Were you actually given money by KFC for these pictures, or like were you just fucking around?
That was all AI generated. I never ate any. I used to just eat it all the time, and then Max Muscle used to keep the buckets, and I'd sign them, and tourists would come in and take photos of KFC buckets stuck to the Max Muscle wall. But actually, I didn't eat it. I ate it a bit, but I think I ate more McDonald's. But for some reason, KFC was the one. I think when I did those Muscle Tech pictures, I had KFC, so everybody thought KFC was the main one. But chicken's chicken. When I was dieting, you just take the skin off. The keto diet.
Pro fat.
So now that we're all on, I'm going to do a quick intro. So this is a Big Deal Little Joe podcast. I'm like so grateful to have a legend, 3 legends on, including Joe, who's definitely a legend as well. I'll let you guys introduce yourselves, follow up, maybe tell us what you're up to. Iain, I know you have a lot on the go. Lee, I saw you were in Russia. James, you were in Texas, right?
I was.
Oh, bro, you in Texas?
I was, man. I missed you. What's going on?
Oh, shit.
Left out. And Terrence, I've been watching your videos, and I've actually been following you forever, so I didn't take a break. But I started watching your YouTube videos. Really inspirational, man. I know you're coming out of like some injuries and whatnot. So if you want to talk about that too. We got a lot of ground to cover, but not a lot of time. I think Iain, you got to leave early. Lee, you don't have too much time. So pretty
Yeah,
much give us
I can leave. I can leave and come back. I just got to run the wife to work, which is only like 5-10 minutes down the road.
Okay, awesome. So again, so this is we're rebooting the podcast. This is like a banger first episode. Like you guys, it's crazy to have such a all-star lineup here. So just to let everyone know, we're gonna be on every week. Hopefully, maybe bi-weekly, have some good guests. And if you want to reach out, you can join our Instagram page on BDLJ podcast. So that's Big Deal Little Joe podcast. Check out the Instagram, subscribe, and you'll see when these videos are going to be launched. So let's just get into it. Joe, you want to lead the ship for a bit? I've been talking enough.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No, I remember, yeah, me and Paul, we started doing this. When was it, Paul? Like 2020, first time?
Fuck yeah. It was a good run too. Like, I mean, we
Yeah.
had Iain on. We won the New York Pro. You know, I brought that magazine in. Shit, I have that magazine with you on the cover.
Yeah.
I was getting my tires out of my old house the other day, and I found it, and I'm like, fuck, I got to bring this onto the podcast because it was actually one of my favorite experiences to have you on the show with the New York Pro ring and everything. And
Yeah, that was bad.
man, you're so articulate. I've got to say this. I had some people who know nothing about bodybuilding listen to our podcast. And they're like, that Iain guy is so enthralling. He's so articulate.
Want to
So
know
it's fun to listen to Iain. Like everybody loves you, man.
two terrible things about that New York Pro. One, I've lost the fucking ring, which is like
No.
my worst thing ever. Out of all the
no.
like it's the only thing I've lost for my entire career of all the things I have. So I don't know. At some point, maybe I'll have to go to Steve and be like, hey man, like, you know, if you get another one made, I'll pay for it, kind of thing. I don't know I know those rings ain't cheap, so I'm definitely gonna have to fork it out because I lost it. And then those magazines, when I had that cover of MD, they sent me a box of them, and I had a bunch of them. And then it was one of those things that, like, over time, like, I just sent a signed copy here and there, and then now I'm like, look, I got none left, so I don't even have a copy of that fucking magazine either. So lost my New York Pro ring, and I got none of the magazines from the New York Pro on it. So.
At least you got the ring. When I did the New York Pro with Wayne, and I ended up winning it, I was doing it for the ring. And to this day, he still says he has it. That was in 2006.
Well,
That's
that's good.
Joke every time. I keep telling Wayne D'Amelia, "Where's my ring? I'll get it to you." So I'm still waiting all these years for my fucking ring.
That's good. I'll just take yours. I lost mine more recently, so I can take yours.
The only one I've got. I never lost the one I got for racing when I won the championship racing.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only ring I got.
No wonder you're so full of hate, Lee. No.
I'm full of love. People just take it the wrong way.
Lee, I watched your little story or your live stream off Instagram about being in Russia. I have to wholeheartedly agree with you. It's fucking ridiculous to get shunned.
The amount of hate I got for going to Russia. You're supporting the war. You're doing this. I'm like, I'm going there for a bodybuilding show. There's over 700 people at the show. The seminars were packed, and we're there to talk about bodybuilding. But I got lost. I'm going to unfollow you. I said, what does me being in Russia have to do with the war? Well, imagine the seminar you're doing. There could be soldiers in that seminar. By you being there, you're motivating those soldiers to go kill more Ukrainians. I'm like,
fucking
You're military, aren't you? You're U.S. Army, aren't you?
Oh, I guess I must be like an undercover agent or fucking mercenary. Rambo.
The mole, they said.
I'm old here.
Yeah. Unbelievable, yeah. But I had a great time. The people were nice, and then people were like, well, you only seen the good part. Wait till you go out further. I'm like, well, that's like in any city. You have a beautiful city, the further out you go. Sometimes the slummier it gets. It's the same in Australia, but people were respectful. It's probably one of the cleanest cities I've been to. People were nice. Yeah, well, like you said, I know the war's happening down closer to the border down near Ukraine, but if you didn't know, you wouldn't know. And it was perfect too. Of course, I get up at 3:30. It's like England. The sun was already coming up at 3:45 and that sort of stuff. So it's like, this is perfect for me. So I had a great time there.
Was that your first time to Russia?
The first time was 97 when we did the European tour.
Okay.
That was fun when Matarazzo, Deletni, and everyone went there and had a good time over there. NASA. Yeah, it was a really fun time. But then people are like, oh, you had a good time. But it's like, when you did the European tour, there was 7 shows in 9 days. What did you see? Well, the airport, the bus, the hotel, and then the venue. That was it. You don't see any of the country. So
yeah.
We got to get you. we got to get you back on. Go ahead, James.
No, I was just going to say same thing. Keeping an eye on what Lee was up to. It looked like a really good event. Looked like a expo-sized kind of event for a show.
Yeah,
so
Oh,
it
what
was,
they had 700 competitors. Like good Vito was there, and we were laughing because we had to we were translating back and forth what we wanted to say and that. But yeah, but a lot of competitors. I saw some competitors there who, man, they could do well in the pros. I mean, like they must be getting the good stuff over there where it's pure because some of the condition. There's like 700 competitors, and when I went backstage in different areas, and I think I saw, you go to some shows, you're like, well, he shouldn't be here, and he's a bit off. I'd probably say 95 of the competitors were like all rock hard nails, like some like just crazy conditioning with that many competitors. And yeah, it was a really, really great show. And then the seminars were good because that one seminar was probably over 200 people. I thought this is going to take forever with the translator. They asked me a question, I'm going to reply, and then the translator's got to say exactly what I said. And I'm always wondering when how the word cunt and fuck's going to come out in Russian because, the translation gets lost sometimes. So, but that everyone in the audience had the earpieces in with the thing. So as soon as I'm talking, the translator immediately is just saying what I'm saying. So they're hearing it straight away. So it was really good. Kept the flow going really good.
What federation?
I was called the NBC. Yeah, so I was like, it was really big over there. And then I got back from there. Next week on the 6th of June, I'm flying to Nashville, Tennessee for there's a Fit Expo there. I'll be there with Jay Cutler and Brian Shaw. So I get to America on the 6th, come home on the 12th. Then on the 19th, I fly back to America for the show and seminar in Alabama. So go on there, get home. Did I realize how far Australia is to go back and forth?
Nightmare. But you're doing bodybuilding justice. It's nice to see people traveling around and bringing people together about something we all have the same passion for. So it's so important that happens.
Yeah, it's fun. Like that's why even when I was competing, I hated competing, but with the contracts we had to do it. But my best thing I got out of competing was just going to the expos, meeting the fans. That was what kept me going. The contests themselves, I fucking hated it.
Yeah, the 90s were a particular era because you guys got to travel all over the world. You guys did a lot of shows. Even the Mr. Olympia was doing a lot of shows. You were saying about Russia, and I'm curious, do you think the state of health of the athletes too? Like, how's healthcare in Russia? I'm wondering if it's
They're
actually
really
pretty
good.
good.
I think I was looking. Someone was telling me they pretty much all got like we have in Australia. They all have like medical and that, and then say you go to hospital and need medicines, it's all free. And then I noticed the food over there was so good. I'm like, fuck, this tastes different. You go to some places now, you buy a banana, like doesn't taste like a banana. But I think over there, Putin has it where you can't do any like biochemically engineering the foods and that. If you do, it's against the law. So everything's pretty much, So it has its good and bad points. And like I said, you ever watch that Ross Kemp on the world's toughest prisons and that? And like, you see the Russian prisons, it's like, if you go to prison over there, you don't want to go back. I know, like in America and here in Australia, you go to jail here, it's a fucking holiday camp. You don't get fucking, it's like, so sometimes having some sort of stricter rules and laws is a good thing when it comes to that sort of thing. It keeps people in line. And like I said, walking around the streets there, you feel safe. I said, my friend goes to Syria, he's been to Iran, and that where they have guards and soldiers as you go on tours. I said, and I always laugh saying, when you go to America, you probably get shot there because you got more chance getting fucking shot in America than you do in some of these other countries now, the way the world goes sometimes. So, I felt safer walking around Moscow than I did Venice Beach in some of the old days.
Just wonder if a healthy bodybuilder, you said some of the guys look really freaky tight. I wonder if a healthier bodybuilder is actually a better bodybuilder at the end of the day. And I'm not talking about gear use or anything, but I talk about overall health. And if your healthcare system is bad in a certain country, said country, then maybe the guys just aren't optimal in that. Iain, you would be good because you've been competing in the past, I don't know how many years, and you were in the States for a while. Like, would you say the state of healthcare has a lot to do with things?
Outside of North America, I may like US and Canada, in some places, maybe. And I know I've talked to guys in like smaller European countries, where even trying to go get like basic blood work for them is kind of a pain in the ass and a lot of difficulty in it. I was talking to some guys in like Greece or Macedonia or these kind of countries where it's like getting access to even get a doctor to give you that kind of stuff is a little more difficult. So I think if you're restricted by that, then yeah, I mean, it could potentially be a hindrance. But I think just as an overall, if you can still do most of the same things most places. I mean, it's really what you got at your availability,
Yeah, but like soft tissue, you guys, I don't know how the UK is, James, and I don't know how the US, Terrence, I think you'd be good to talk to because you've been going through some things. I don't quite know what it is, but here in Canada, like just to get an MRI, to get a requisition takes time. Then to get into surgery takes like 6, 7 months. And I think Chris had to look at some of that too, right? So he went over to Ohio to do some surgeries, right? Or
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
look, if you're a professional athlete, even if you're a Canadian player playing in the NHL or in the NBA, you're going over to the US to do these things. Like you're going where you're paying and you're getting it done fast by private medical services that, let's be serious, when things are privatized to an extent, it's giving you a lot of better quality because it breeds competition. So there is some benefits to that the US has. And obviously, like me, when I was competing, if I needed something specialized like that, you fly to the US, I go to Florida. If I want to get, a heart scan done or a calcium scoring or an MRI for an injury, or, even if you want to try and get a surgery done, if it's something of the timely fashion, I was going to the US for sure. So in that aspect, I think things like that can be, different country to country, but the US is obviously probably the one that's different than probably most other places in that regard with the ability to kind of pay for things like that.
Yeah. UK is pretty good for it as well. Anytime I've needed, MRIs, scans, obviously everything is private, but if you want to, we do have the NHS, which you've got to wait for months and months, if not years. But private wise, dude, you can get something booked up for a few days time, go get it sorted. I was just with I was just with Amp, who's just tore his tricep, and when we were in Texas, he's already had the surgery since we've been back. So obviously cost a lot of money, but the availability for it is there, and that is a massive, massive factor for many of us.
so in the UK, you can go
we
private.
have that universal health here where everyone's covered. But like you said, if you need an operation, you go on a waiting list.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do have private health care. I pay like $297 a month. So like if I like the other day, if I wanted my heart scan, I call up my doctor. He just sends the referral through to the place, and I can generally get in that same day. And then if there's an operation, like I got to get the corner on this eye fixed, and they want to do it. They're going to do it before I went away, but he goes, I'll do it when you come back. But he said he was going to say, I can get you in tomorrow if you need it done. So in that aspect, we're lucky too. We all have universal health care here, but then if you pay for private, you can get it done really quick. Otherwise, you need a hip replacement, 6 months, 7 months, get in line.
In Canada, we don't. I think in Quebec, there's some options in one province, there's some options to do certain things that you can pay out of pocket. But like where we live, there's not really even much of a privatized sector like that. There's certain things you can do privatized, like you can get these things called like I can't remember what it is, but it's some kind of fancy private, like just a general practitioner doctors that you can pay for, that will get you in for certain things in an expedited fashion. But then if you need to be referred to any specialists, like if you needed any surgery done or any kind of things, you're going on the same list as everybody else. So if you want to get basic blood works and see your GP every single day because you have something like serious ailment where you need more than getting in when they can every couple of weeks, or whatever their schedule is, then these things are good for that. Those premium kind of services. But other than that, there's not a ton of options here now. So
like with my private healthcare, like when I had the operation on my shoulder to repair that and that, like all of it, once I go in, I think I paid like a copay. I think it was $50. Or I think the operation was a couple of thousand, but I only paid $50. So whatever operation I have is just because I paid for the top of the line private. I only pay like that copay, and I think it's like I said, $50 a day if I'm in the hospital. The rest is covered. And even when I went into detox that time to get off opioids, I think that hospital stay was like $560 a day, and I was there for 2 weeks and didn't cost me a cent. So
yeah, that'd be similar to Canada in a lot of ways. But when that happens, then it just slugs the system down. Like it's so slow here. Like Paul was saying at the beginning, if you want to get any kind of surgery done or anything that you need that's elective like that, you could end up waiting a year, 18 months, 2 years. It can be pretty crazy for that kind of stuff.
I mean, I worked for a place that dealt with workplace injuries, and I seen the worst of the worst, especially during the pandemic. I saw a guy for a total knee wait 2 years, there goes his knee. He's fucked for life, you know? Like, do you really want to be fucked for life? And that's the state of Canadian healthcare, the way I say it. I don't want to shit on it, but anyways, Terrence, this is a good segue. Do you want to talk about what's going on? I don't know. I've been watching your YouTube videos and just got a semblance of like, I know you had some tricep stuff going on.
Yeah, some elbow stuff. Any type of like pressing, elbow extension, even pulling, it's causing a lot of issues. And I've had some great guys down in Tampa, Florida. Like my original massage therapist, he works for the WWE. I've had guys that worked for the oh my God, football team out there. I don't watch it, but this major sports team out there.
Oh yeah, what's the
And
they're gonna hate you now. You don't know the team.
I know they got a Buccaneers. Yeah. So but yeah, they I just got tired of spending money, and like they just weren't sure on how to fix it. So I ended up coming out to Houston, and Hunter Labrada, his physical therapist has been doing a great job. And yeah, it should take about a month or so for him to like get everything healed up. It's nothing serious, just I guess really bad tendonitis, but to the point where I couldn't press like 30 pounds without issues. So yeah, I've just been staring at Airbnbs and seeing him like twice a week at the moment, and it's been going good. Yeah.
How you liking Texas? You enjoying being there?
I might move out here, to be honest with you. I like it better than Tampa.
I like Texas a lot.
Yeah.
Wait. Do you have a gun now? Do you
I already
carry a
had
gun on your
one.
holster?
He's in Florida already.
What state were you from before?
I'm from Alabama, so yeah.
Okay. So that was another gun state, right? It was another red state.
Yeah. It's the country.
Okay.
Alabama's the country. When you go leave, there's nothing out there.
Right, I'll be in Montgomery, Alabama for the contest down there.
I'm from about an hour and a half south. That's where we go see the movies and go to the mall and stuff. Yeah.
I lived in Austin, Texas for 4 years. It was beautiful in Austin when I lived there.
I've been
I
out to
love
Austin.
Texas.
It's growing a lot. It's Austin's becoming really liberal. Like
Yeah, I heard that is happening down there.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, they still value things like carrying. Their gun control. They still stand at the same place. I mean, it hasn't changed. They're still Texans. It's Alabama. It's still Alabama. But yeah, they're more liberal. But the whole liberal idea has changed. But I don't want to get into politics too much.
What, you don't want to talk about the jury and the Trump trial and everything?
No, not on this podcast. Not today. Not with me, Reese.
Yeah.
I'm
Want to
afraid.
talk about De Niro losing his shit?
I'm afraid we're going to get sidetracked. James, talking about tech. You were in Texas. You were at Metro.
Yeah, just a short trip
Yeah.
with two friends of mine, one being Anth. And we just wanted to do 4 days of training, basically, but he got injured on the second day. So it was cut short.
You were with Ant Bales. I hadn't seen Ant Bales. I saw Ant Bales. Like, I was a big fan of his visually in the magazines. I forget who his sponsor was. I was like, that guy's a
Farmer
genetic
freak. He used to be a farmer freak, which he was like the main face for them, actually. And they had a good presence when he was with them. I used to see it everywhere.
Yeah.
So I love Amph. Like, he's the epitome of bodybuilder. He's just a great person as well. Like, he's one of my best friends, to be fair. I really like the guy, and always have a good time when I'm around him. So I was like, yeah, I'm happy to go to Texas with him. And we got there. We had a great first day. We went to Arlington, Metflex, trained like we wanted to, like a couple of dogs just going in.
Fucking love the videos. I love the videos. I love the clips. Yeah, they're good.
Dude,
They're
that
sick.
first day just made me love bodybuilding again. Like,
Yeah.
just took me back, And I was just like, I know that if Iain was there, he would have just been like, yeah, this is fucking great. Like, I know the mentality. That warm room, pumps crazy. It's all just sound and feeling rather than overthinking. And yeah, I just wish I was there. Sometimes I'm like, I should do a whole prep in Texas in that fucking gym.
And I was actually just down in Florida for the Raw opened a new gym, the Raw Athletic Club there. And I was lucky enough on the 2 days, Friday and Sunday, I got to trade Chris. Hani put me and Chris through workouts both days. And that for me, it was just like reliving the fucking good old days, like not even think. I didn't have to think of like who was conducting the workout. Like Hani was doing it. I wasn't even thinking. Me and Chris just getting like, killed by him. And it was fucking good. It was a lot of fun, and then that new gym on the Friday too. Like the gym is absolutely crazy. So, got in there and push some weights, and it was nice to feel that I could still keep up with Chris in some regard, you know. So I'm like, I ain't lost it too bad yet, you know.
No, you've been training hard lately. It's like
I
a bit
have,
of
yeah.
comeback going on. I'm watching. I'm like,
I don't know about that. I don't know if that's on the cards, but you know, either way, like you were just saying, you know, about how training with those guys in the first day, and it just reminded you why you love training. You know, it's one of those things that just, you know, some time away from it, and you know, distracted by some other things. I kind of set, you know, my goals for a little different for a little while, and then over time, you just kind of get reminded of why you even started bodybuilding in the fucking first place, which was because you just love training, you know?
Yeah.
So I think I just need some time away from it to get to some perspective, and not that I have the same goals or, you know, that I want to necessarily compete or anything ever again, but it's just in terms of my, you know, desire and love for training, which is just like been such a big part of my life for the last like 15, 20 years, you know, to have that back in a little bit, you know, and then go train, you know, like that with Chris and Hani and stuff is fun. It's fun as shit.
It's funny how you can walk into some certain gyms like that and you just want to train. The smell of it, the old metal plates, it's just like, even Gold's now has changed a lot in Venice, but even when I go back in there, it's like all the old memories come back.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I want to be a bodybuilder again. Then I have to remind myself, you're fucking 52, Lee. Go back to Anytime Fitness and do your old man workout on the machines. And that's right. That's what I do now.
You,
Just
I
on
feel you,
machines.
Lee.
And I look over now and I see
broken.
women pressing heavier than me, and I'm like, oh, I don't pay no attention. I'll just do my machine over here. Don't watch what that girl's squatting.
Yeah, I think what like Iain was saying, sometimes it's because the competition side of this becomes very overwhelming and almost has it almost like infects your positivity towards it sometimes. And when you have time away from the actual competing side, very soon you feel like you've filtered away a lot of those bad feelings, and you're reinvigorated, and like you can love training again, and you don't necessarily have to compete. That's why I said it today on some posts. I'm like, you haven't got to compete. Like if it affects your love for it, then just train.
I used to tell a lot of people that, because even here in Newcastle, we have a football team who does good and they do bad.
Yeah, no, is it?
Yeah. And I tell people, it's like, even as you get older, like I said, you got to find the reason why you started it, because you loved it, you know. I always say, find that young kid inside yourself again, because that one that gave you the passion. Because as we get older, and even like I see sports teams, you get to the point where you're all about, you want to please the fans, you want to please your sponsors and everything else. And that's what puts the pressure on you. And I say, listen, forget about all that. Just go back, find the reason why you did it, find that love for it again. And if you find that, everything else will fall into place. Pleasing the fans, the sponsors, that'll all happen. If you're happy within yourself training, and you're not doing it for all those reasons because you got to, oh, will I get this? Will I get that? My sponsor wants me to do this. The fans are pissed off because I didn't do that. You're never going to please everyone, but if you can, like I said, find that kid inside yourself, find that passion, all the other stuff will just happen. So,
and Lee, if you are just being yourself, the audience you have will be the right audience for you.
Exactly.
Because you can fall victim of creating an audience based on having to perform. Well, and then sometimes you kind of, and then you kind of lose, you feel pressured to stay performing. But, you know, so.
And that's the thing, especially with Instagram now, people think, I've got to do this, I've got to act a certain way, I've got to be like this. It's like, you know, I've never done that, and I've got a lot of hate for it. But like I said, I've always been myself. And like I said, the fans who like you are going to like you. The ones who don't, well, no matter what you do, you're going to have haters. Even if you look at even Mr. Olympia, they have haters. It's like you can't. There's always those people online, the trolls, who are going to. You're going to be 10 times Mr. Olympia. Oh, you still suck. It's like, okay.
I was gonna say, I just had to interject because I was thinking about topics for today, like what we were going to talk about, but this has kind of gone its own way. However, I was thinking about this post Iain wrote. I think he reshared Chris's post maybe about people over quantifying things, overthinking things. And when we're talking about, like, when you're talking about the smell of the gym, I remember going to Powerhouse. I took a vacation to New York. I went all the way to Powerhouse, went with my ex-wife, and just like that was the whole reason for the vacation, just for me to fucking go train raw, like in this environment. And it was like I wanted to be there all day. And not that I don't want to be at a gym all day anyways, but Powerhouse there was something about that place that was like magical, you know. And when you get somewhere that's like, you know, something, the smell, the machines, the history, and you feel that way, you don't feel like quantifying your sets, you don't feel like looking at your, you know, exact movement. And I just don't get it, because like I'm at a time before the internet even existed, right? Like I'm probably almost as old as Lee, but like way older than most of you here. So like when we used to train, we just had Arnold's book and a couple other things, and we'd train, and it was like, fuck it. We had a semblance of a plan. We'd count our sets, we'd look at our weight, but it wasn't like we'd look at the mechanics. And now I go to the commercial gyms, and these kids think they know everything.
We didn't.
And
We
when you
did. We
talk
didn't
to
have
them,
the.
they're
We
so
didn't have the
grandiose
bro
about their
science.
fucking training. And it's
Yeah,
like,
and I
you
think
like
what I was
training?
and what I was really like trying to get the point across, it was what Chris was talking is because he was speaking on a post that I had made. So he was like, I don't know if you saw the post Iain made. He was kind of just reiterating it in his, his words. And look, I'm all for advancements in everything, whether it's training, nutrition, science, whatever it is. If it's going to be better, I think there is always ways to improve. And I think that, we should, as bodybuilders or athletes or anything, try and, keep our finger on the pulse of what things are progressing and what things are good and information's out there. But I also think that that needs to be taken with a bit of nuance in how much you're letting that detract from like the main purpose of what you're trying to accomplish here, And if it's so that you're so hyper focused on the analytics of, your rep schemes and your RPE of how many reps from failure you are, and
Your mesocycles,
the biomechanics of every single exercise being like in an exact perfect like angle,
Yeah.
things like this. I think once you start getting to the point where you're overthinking that so much that you've lost sight of like the intensity and the effort and the joy of training, I think you've like missed the boat completely,
Or how
100%.
how can I build just this part here in my chest? Just this part. I want to build just this part here.
That's this one.
But
I think if you can find a healthy marriage of both, I think it's definitely the most optimal. I think if you can find the exercises that are needed for your physique to make you a better bodybuilder in the most effective and safest manner possible, while also doing it at the highest level of effort and intensity, is what's always going to render the best result. So I think there is better and worse ways to do things. But I also think that if you're going to pick one or the other, and it's doing dog shit exercises really damn hard or doing fluffy exercises with 10 reps left in the tank, I'm picking
dog shit all day. Dog shit all day.
Dog shit all day, every day.
It's like nothing should be at the expense, like you said there, of your joy. That's the line, crossover line for me. If I start thinking about my training like it's some weird chore,
I don't even like it anymore.
The passion's got to be there. Like, but then there's analysis paralysis. I think you talked about that.
That's what the post was about, essentially. Yeah. And it's just, I think people, and like James was saying, I mean, even the last while I was competing, I was at a point where, I was looking for what the next step was in my career of progression. And, in terms of where do I go, in terms of what competitions and what do I place next, or to improve my Olympia placing, win more shows, whatever, that I became so hyper analytical about the minutia of all my programming. I'm like, is this definitely the best workouts I could be doing? I got the right split? Am I picking the right exercises? Am I hitting this? Am I doing this? Am I training too hard? Maybe, should I be actually not training this hard to failure? Maybe I'm doing too much, and you start overthinking. And then at that point, just going to the gym was giving me a fucking anxiety attack. Like I wasn't enjoying training at all. It felt stressful. It felt like it was a chore and not what I initially fell in love with bodybuilding for, which was the challenge and the like mental release you get from training of like, just like going in the gym and fucking letting out your emotions on the weights.
Yes.
And it's a therapeutic. And when it became the opposite of therapeutic, which is stressful and fucking anxiety inducing, what am I even doing here?
Well, this is the thing, Iain, what you just said as well. What I found is, nowadays people like detach your emotions from your training, do what you need to do.
Yeah.
That isn't enough to fuel a career.
No, it's not.
I just got to run off and run to wife to work.
Yeah.
If I don't get a speeding ticket, I'll be back in.
I'm going to give you 5 minutes. So, like a career can't last the length of careers, over a decade or so without passion.
No.
Bottom line, that's why you look at Ronnie Coleman, and he could go for as long as he did, because he didn't do this analysis paralysis. And this is why you do see people burn out, because like you say, they start implementing these kind of really strong opinions very early on, and they get so involved in it. It literally, like you say, it burns the candle at both ends, and then Before you know it, I fucking hate the gym. I'm not going anymore because it's just too much. And that carries over to anything. If you do that in any aspect of life, it's going to become too much. That's why you just got a free flow sometimes, like a little bit of just go with the flow.
I think Iain has a point though, to some extent, and I see where Ian's coming from when he prefaces. It's got to be like a kind of blend of both, right? Like I watch Mike Israetel, and Mike's pretty scientific, and I agree we need that. We need some science to evolve, and I agree to be a good bodybuilder, you can't just train with raw passion and listen to your heart all the time. Because in all honesty, like I think people I'm ADHD and I like to like just train the way I like to train, do things the way I like to train, do things the way I like to do. And I think that separated me from being a much better bodybuilder than I could have been because I neglected a lot of areas. So Iain has a good point. Like to be a good bodybuilder, you need to find that like happy medium where you're still forcing yourself to do the things you don't quite want to do, but without losing that passion.
Yeah. And I think passion isn't necessarily from not doing things you don't want to do. Like, look, I could still have a fun time doing an exercise that I didn't like. Like for me, I never liked doing fucking single arm dumbbell rows. It's like my least favorite back exercise ever. It wouldn't make it that I didn't enjoy the workout or that I didn't leave it feeling good. It's more like I was saying that like the over analysis, the hyper analytical sense of it going into it, or thinking, is this dumbbell row even the right thing I should be doing? How many reps should I be doing? What intensity should I be doing? What angle? Is this the right angle? Should I be doing here? Am I contracting my lat? Like when you start just going down this rabbit hole, like everything trying to optimize so much that one, you're not enjoying it. And two, the semblance of intensity and effort behind it all, which is, in my opinion, the predominant driving factor in progress, are lost, then I think you've definitely lost something, Like I think if you're going in and you're so hyper focused on exactly this many reps, because this is not the range, but it's not within, you're not really trying hard. Like I think people lose sight of that stuff so easily,
Yeah.
Joe, you actually developed a new method of training. I saw you and Rob. Rob is a local pro going through training methods. You guys have slowed down the pace, using less weight. How do you feel about your new training style?
Well, to be honest, like there was like a combination of things that like led me to do that. Cause like after last year, like I did well, like my first show, like I did New York. I came in like probably the best I've ever looked. And then like 2 weeks later I did Toronto, and I was a bit off, but it was a lot of just like pressure on myself. So I just kind of decided like after that, I was like, I'm just gonna take the next year off, just to like kind of actually love the process again. And like one of the things I wanted to do is just like do something different for like, to keep me more engaged and like for longevity too. Cause like I always loved training the most at anything. And it's like I loved going to the gym. And I found like after those shows, I was just like, I didn't really have that drive to go to the gym as much because I was just like putting too much pressure on placings and shows instead of like actually just enjoying it. So that's why I linked up with Rob, because I know Rob's his, I guess, like methodology behind training is like obviously a lot more controlled, because like now that I'm like, well, I'm 32 now, so I guess like I'm getting a little bit older and I wanted to implement a little bit of different style of training that would help me have a little more longevity. So I've been doing that, like still doing, some of the heavy shit that I want to do, but like incorporating more of that just so I have like more longevity. But at the same time, I feel like it just gives me that extra bit of like motivation to want to train, because it's something different and it's more
stimulating you, isn't
engaging.
it? It's stimulating you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Makes sense.
That's when I would make changes in like me personally. When I do make changes in my training, it's to encourage it, stimulating me. Because if I do a certain training for a certain period of time and I start to get bored, I will change it because I want to keep training. It is what it is, and that's essentially kind of the same thing. Because when you continue on the same path for a long time, I know there is that argument: do the same thing, get better at doing it, blah blah blah, more progress. But again, the most important part of bodybuilding is actually wanting to get to the gym itself. So if that requires a change in how you approach your training, then so be it. In my opinion, again, I only do what I do, but that's kind of what it sounds like for you. You kind of ran something into the ground, and then you just need a little bit of change just so you stay motivated.
Yeah, exactly. And like I find like for a while I was having trouble finding like a good training partner too. And I found when I had a training partner, it was great because you're like that drive is there all the time and it's fun to push each other. But like I haven't had that for a little bit. So I found like having someone kind of put me through training gave me that like same drive when I was going back to the gym, you know?
What's
love that.
bad is that I train with a partner every single day of the week, that when I now have to not train with one, I literally feel like I can't fucking train, you know? Like I feel like I become so codependent on having a training partner, you know, just someone to like push me or help spot me or like anything, or just like even conversation to just keep it like a little more stimulating, and not so I'm like just sitting there in silence between sets, like just to keep me like, you know,
Yeah.
high pace and high energy. I find it so important for me, man. Like I never ever train without a partner, to be honest.
I
I,
Who were your
always,
I
who were
used to
your
for years,
trainers?
but I can't
yeah,
anymore, you know?
I
Okay,
always
let's hear
have a
from
better
let's hear from
session with a training partner. Sorry, I want to hear Ruff's opinion on this.
no, I want to hear from James,
Okay.
Terrence, and Joe. I know,
And the Mystic
and
Chair.
Ian. Who were the training partners? Who are? It's Chris. It's Chris. One of your training partners, Ian.
Well, Chris has been one of my training partners for sure. I mean, at times in my life, you know, obviously Chris lives in Florida now. I live in Ottawa,
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
don't train with
right,
him
right.
very often, unless like I was just in Florida, so I was down there training with him.
Who is your okay? Who is your? And I don't want to put anyone above anyone, like, but who is
There is always
number
one.
one? Who would you go to if you're like, fuck yeah, I got to train. I'm gonna call someone. I need to call this
If
person
I have
right
to
now.
attribute my best years of bodybuilding, best training, it was with one specific partner. And the funny thing is, he was the lowest level bodybuilder I ever trained with in my career. You know, he was like not a pro, not even a like, no offense to him, he's not even a good low level one amateur. You know, but he trains very hard and he's very good at motivating. This kid Mark, he's from Ottawa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Berger, and like, you know, I honestly found him because I started training at the gym that he worked at during COVID, and I saw him training on his own, and this was like a kid that, you know, had a pretty undeveloped physique at the time, wasn't a PED user, like anything like that, wasn't a, you know, high level competitive bodybuilder, or, you know, squatting 700 pounds or anything, but like every set I saw him do, he was like milking, like getting every single ounce out of himself, you know. And I was like, man, it's not often that you see kids that train alone, that aren't, you know, been doing this a long time and kind of learned what training that hard feels like, see that, you know. So I was a couple of weeks out from the Tampa Pro in 2020 or 2021 or something. 2021. I can't remember which year it was. Maybe even 2019. And I just asked him, I'm like, hey, would you mind, you know, do you want to train with me? You know, I just need to push the last couple of weeks. And it was like the best workouts I ever had. And then we trained for a long time after that. You know, he came to me, you know, with shows, and, you know, if I traveled and stuff, he would help me with video stuff and push me in training stuff. But yeah, he's definitely the guy I train with now. Jay is an amazing training partner too. So I'm not gonna give one too much over the other, but no, Mark was definitely one that stands out in my mind. Like, he's amazing. And like I was saying, you don't need a crazy high level bodybuilder to be a good partner, you know?
For sure.
James,
Yeah,
Terrence,
sounds
who wants to
like
take this one?
I walked into a beautiful love story there.
It
Yeah,
was.
we are. We're sharing our bromances here.
Yeah. I've had a few romances, man.
James,
So I've had a
James.
few, and I had one very similar to Ian that I trained with during the COVID times, and that's the year that I got the two wins as a pro, and that was someone again, just a general gym guy, but mate, the best sessions I've ever had. But I have to give this credit. My first proper training partner was a gentleman called Steve Avery, who was junior Mr. Britain back in like 1987.
I recognize the name.
Yeah, yeah, dude. And he won the British title 6 times, different classes, but never won the overall. So never got his professional card. But this is the chap when he was back in the day. He was just
Yeah,
like
looks
just
good.
great poser, bodybuilding through and through. We used to go to Sav's gym in Bethnal Green, Muscle Works, which is where legendary gym in London, every Saturday to train legs, and then we trained in some dog hole gym Monday to Friday in Croydon, which is like a proper rundown area not far from me. And yeah, that was the best times because he wouldn't let me fail. He's in my ear. He was still competing at the time. He won the Masters the same year that I competed with him, and I won the juniors. So it was just a perfect kind of like synergy between the two of us. And he taught me a lot about bodybuilding, man. He was always really hard on me. You know, if I did a check-in with him, he'd have his stick that he'd poke you with if he thinks you're still fat. So, I would check in with him and he'd poke me and he'd go, "You're still fucking fat," more cardio. So I know he just taught me that it's a hard game from day one, and I was willing to do whatever from day one. So yeah, he was fantastic, and he's still around now. He just doesn't compete no more or anything, but we still talk a lot. So I'm very fortunate to have him. Yeah.
Terrence, you got one?
Oh, it's Joe, 100%. Joe Bennett, hypertrophy coach.
Right.
Yeah, he met.
He's
I
your
met him.
coach too, though, right?
No,
He's
he doesn't do nutrition or anything like that. No, just
just
workouts.
training.
Yeah. But yeah, I met him after my first pro win in Tampa, back in 2016, and he slid into my DMs and he said,
He
"Hey,
slid into your DMs, huh?
into DMs." And basically he saw my Instagram. It's like, "Hey, congrats on the win, but I see a lot of improvements you can make in the gym. If you want to drive out to MI40, I'll be more than willing to give you a training session." So I hopped in the car, drove 8 hours, and that's how we got started. And I moved down to Tampa after I left the military in 2018, and pretty much every single day, anywhere from 4 to 6 times a week, we would train together up until last year. So I saw him more than any other person for a very long time in my life. Yeah. I mean, my whole career of me, like placing second at the Olympia, winning the Arnold's, is a lot of it has to do with him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love that.
But Lee, you know what? We're talking about training partners, and I'm interested because you're a '90s guy. I think you were kind of like a lone wolf, but was there anyone from the '90s you ever trained with, like Kevin or any of those guys?
No,
Any of those
no,
guys?
like Dillette lived with me when he separated from his wife.
Oh shit! Can I
We
stop
never-
you for a second? Can I stop you
Yeah.
for 1 second?
Yeah.
Fuad had a debate about Iain. Iain, you want to touch on this?
Don't answer it.
Yeah, Lee, who's the best Canadian bodybuilder of all time?
Oh shit!
Well, he doesn't count. He's not Canadian. I'm the only Canadian.
Oh, that's not Canadian?
Yeah,
No,
Paul
okay.
was from Canada, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
from Canada. It's like, don't open the door. I heard this on
I'll
a
just hate
podcast.
everyone. I'll just mess everyone up and go, Greg Kovacs.
Yeah, do that. That's better. Yeah.
Ian's
Kovacs
had more
was
wins.
the biggest Canadian.
Yeah.
He's probably
No,
one of the
Paul-
biggest men ever.
Yeah, but Paul and I never trained together. We just, like I said, hung out and ate together and stuff like that. But when I was younger, because I started in 85, 86, I was only 12 and 13 going to the gym. There's a couple of older guys there who were in shape, and they saw me because I was developing quick. They sort of said, "Oh, you want to come train with us?" and that. And being 13, 14, I'm like, he's a fucking 45. He's a fucking old as fuck. Now, when you get to 50 odd, you're like, that ain't old at all, people. It's not old. But yeah, so I started training with them. So, and the guy I trained with was 45. He offered me a job. So my mum wrote a letter to the school. I left high school in just before year 9 because I got a job, and because I was so young, she had to write a letter. I got out of school so that way I could train before work and train after work because I was training with the boss. So I trained with my friend Barry, and then another guy called Paul. He was on the fire brigade. He's pretty high up still in the fire thing here. And they were older. And then when I came to America, the first day in America, I met Kurt Miller. He won the Cal. Had a physique very similar to Flex, but the thing with him was he was a great training partner, but he liked the women too much. And there was many days I'd be doing a heavy set of like 180s. I'd be like, Kurt's going to spot me. I'm like, where the fuck did he go? And I drop the dumbbells. I get up. I'll be waiting 20 minutes. He comes back. I said, "Where'd you go?" He goes, "Oh, this girl needed a lift home." And that I'm like, in the middle of the set, you just fucking leave. But he was one of those people. He loved to help everyone because his father, nicest guy, but he liked the ladies. His father was a minister in Iowa. That's where he come from originally. So like he used to help Flex out a lot and everyone. But yeah, probably Kurt. But generally people I trained with were just normal people. They weren't into bodybuilding and that, just normal people. In Australia, I had a friend, Andy Cunningham. He was a bodybuilder, got his pro card, and we were that type where we trained together, but every couple of months we had to stop because it was such a competition. He'll do 5 plates for 20 reps. I'll do 5 plate, 22 reps. It's just that constant going back and forth. We just burn each other out. So we'd have to have a couple of months off, then get back together and do it again. Otherwise, it was just full on trying to kill each other. So, but generally, I prefer to train by myself. And then when I got the World Gym, Ira, he sort of helped me a little bit. He used to train Lou Ferrigno. He moved out with Lou Ferrigno from the East Coast, and he sort of just trained me a bit with Lou. Like I trained with Lou a bit leading up to the 97 Ironman and the Olympia and stuff. But yeah, but
How's
pretty much just
training
train
with
by
Lou?
myself. I think just being in the atmosphere of World Gym with Arnold there and Lou there every day and the old crowd, it's almost like you're training in the whole pumping iron scene, you know. So every
Yeah.
day you just get there and you
Cool.
like that, just the smells. You go to the outdoor deck and all just the metal weights, the smell of the salt air from Venice Beach, and Joe Gold would come up grumpy and start yelling at people and stuff like that. So just that atmosphere, you sort of just made you want to train there all the time. And then Arnold would come in and he'd be cracking jokes and being funny all the time. So yeah.
Love that.
So
Sounds better than the gym I was
we've got to
training in.
get Lee Priest back. Lee, will you come back and talk about the old school era for one day at least? Because I'm obsessed with the old school, this training and these
Well,
guys.
well, it was the fun times because even back then I'd be doing leg extensions. I remember getting ready for the one Ironman show. I was just doing leg extensions, drop sets. And Eddie Giuliani, you know, Eddie, he's the one that jumps in Arnold's arms in pumping iron, and that he was a good shot.
Yeah, right, the little guy.
So Arnold and Eddie are just standing in front of me and they're just shaking their head. They're like, you know, don't you think you've done enough and that? And like, why are you training so hard and this and that? And I'm just like, fuck it. And I stopped and I said, you two are right. And I lifted up Arnold's shorts like that, his leg of his shorts. I said, you know what? You're so fucking right. Here I am training this hard. And in the end, I'm only going to get old and look shit like you two. So, and Arnold just started laughing. So that's the good thing. You'd always put shit on each other. Then I trained with Roland Kickinger for a while. I remember Roland Kickinger.
Yeah, he was really good.
And he'd always be giving me shit. Oh, why is it always the short guys want to train with us tall guys, Roll? And I'd be like, yeah, but why is the shorter guy always stronger? Remember Franco? Huh? And he's like, oh, okay. So, he'd always give and take, Arnold. So, you know, it's a good atmosphere. There was no music. It was just training. And like I said, it was always great because the tourists would come in because Joe Gold made the equipment, so he really liked it. If anyone dropped the weights, even in the end when he's in his wheelchair, he'd come rolling out, throw the money at him, get the fuck out of my gym and stuff. So it was pretty, like I said, Joe was funny. He was funny. It was almost like, because my grandfather sort of raised me when I got there, sort of Joe Gold took me under his wing. So it was almost like an adopted grandfather to me. So I'd sit there in the office and talk about stories, and that's some stories I can't repeat about, you know, different things that went on in the old days. Some of the stuff, you know, with the way it is these days, the way you talk to women, class of sexual assault, some of the stories, they back in the beach are a lot different.
Yeah, and times have changed. What do you guys think is the best era out of all these eras?
I think they're all good. I think every era has its place. You know, you can't. Everyone always says the '90s, and I think every era is so different. You know, the era now is great. Back then was great. You know, so I think every era has its time and place. You know, you can't compare one to the other because, you know, like I said, maybe, you know, in another 20 years, they would be saying, oh, the 2020s were the best, and everyone in the 2040s would be like, that sucked. We're the best now. So I think everyone has their favorites in time. But the only thing I did like about it back then, I think just because the gyms were so different, there wasn't so much technology. It was that more basic. I think there was more comradeship between people when it comes to training. You know, there wasn't so. I think the internet brings a lot of negativity and people bitching about how he looks. You know, they only had the magazine, so if you hated someone, you'd read a magazine. Oh, he looks like shit, but that's as far as it ever went. But now with all the online stuff and that, but you know, I think people were just more into it back then. People were more willing to help one another. If you saw someone in the gym, you go talk to them and that. And you know, I think you know, I said everyone has headphones in a lot now, and I think that takes away a lot of the interaction between people because you would talk and that, but now because everyone's in their own little world, you don't really talk as much and do stuff anymore. And then I remember I tried to help a young kid one day. I was watching him doing incline presses, and he had 3 plates and he's only going like this. I'm like, okay, I can't watch it anymore. So I hate saying anything to people because they think you're a know-it-all. So I just said, oh, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm just doing this. I said, maybe if you go a bit lighter and bring it down, you might feel it more. Fuck off, this is how Ronnie Coleman does it. I'm like, okay, sorry. Sorry I mentioned
it. People still use that excuse today.
Ronnie Coleman. Okay. Yeah, but Ronnie used full range for multiple sets and reps. It was insane. Like, if you can do full range of motion.
Again, with the generation thing, you know, they're like my view on generation isn't even necessarily the competitions, it's the equipment. So when I'm thinking of like what generation of bodybuilding is the best, my first thoughts go back to when I was training in these gyms that had equipment from the 90s and the 80s and how much I preferred that equipment. So I have a preference where I really like that generation purely because of the equipment that was available. Because now when I use new stuff, it just feels shit compared to the old
Well,
stuff,
sure.
really.
I'm sure
Feels
England
stiff.
too. Like back in England too, back in the day, it was probably like Australia. You just had the basics. I mean,
Real
the
basic.
biggest machine we had, or the best machine we had, was probably a lat pull down in a seated row. That was high tech. And I remember because in Australia, all you had to do was the basics: barbell row, dumbbell row, and that. I remember the first time I got to Gold's Gym, I'm like, fuck, look at all these machines. I can do that back machine instead of doing barbell rows. I can do that. So I did machines for about 6 months. When I went back to the basics, I was like, well, fuck this. I couldn't even do them. So I think the good old basics, like you said, is, machines are good now and stuff, but but even some of the newer machines, I prefer the old Cybex Smith machine, the one that was just straight
Yeah,
up and
straight.
down.
I got 2 of
It used
those
to
just
be
for that
like
reason.
the old flex equipment hack squat. I found that was the best. There's a lot of good stuff now that gives different angles, and that's what I liked about Joe Gold. He made all that stuff, even the stuff that you saw him pumping iron was still at World Gym outside, and it was some of the smoothest equipment ever because Joe Gold just knew all the leverage points were perfect. Because if you start here, you feel the same weight all the way through. Some machines you hop on, it's hard, then it gets easy, or it's easy, then it
Halfway
gets
around,
hard.
yeah.
His
Yeah.
machines were just like perfect, the right angles and everything. That's why I think he got so upset if anyone abused his equipment, because he put so much passion into making it that he hated anyone abusing it. So that you go into some gyms like, oh, they look pretty, everything's shiny, but I don't know. I still prefer the old basics.
I had the basic shit, man. Like I literally had like a single cable pull down that was just its own machine. I had a unique hack squat, which is the same one that Dorian has in Blood and Guts. Like I had a gym 80 leg press. There was no gizmos, no cross path. None of this. Like if you look at it, it's all like engineered with multiple arms. Like back then, it was just the machine and the leverage, and that's why I still like all the old hammer, like the old hammer strength, original hammer strength stuff. I love. But
The plate loaded presses are just
plate loaded row, the old original hammer with just the L shape.
And how many times would you hop on a machine in the old days? You'd be doing cable rows, and all the cables fraying. You think, fuck, how many more reps before this thing? Like they wouldn't change the cable until it was on the last fucking thread.
Even on like triceps, I used to shave the skin off my face doing the tricep press down because the cables were so fucking frayed. Sorry, Paul.
New York, there was this gym called Frenchie's Gym in New York in Brooklyn. It was like a hole in the wall. But anybody ever heard of it? Anyways, they had machines that must have been from like 1930. They had like and they were fucking amazing. Like I had never used anything like that before. It's just so
That's where they did those old animal shoots.
yeah, that's the
yeah.
place. It was
So
quite
cool.
a gym, and I met the owner, quite an enthusiastic guy. I think he just passed away 2 years ago, but him and his grandson, amazing people, kept up with him on Instagram. He got a little star in Brooklyn after he passed away. So yeah,
I think I got the
great
old
gym.
Nautilus. Remember the old Nautilus stuff on the old chains, those big chains on the old
That's
Nautilus
it. It was on a
machine?
chain. It was a Smith machine on a fucking chain. I was like, how the fuck does this happen? It was good. It was smooth, and it was on milk crates because like somehow it was all mangled. So you put it on milk crates, and it was a chain. I was just loving it.
Well, that's like the one piece everyone wants to have is the Dorian Nautilus pullover, like the chain driven.
Arthur Jones. Yeah. So that actual pullover, Amph actually has his pullover. So I've used that one. Yeah. So in Ultraflex, there's so many Ultraflex gyms. Which one's his? Ultraflex Durham. If you ever want to use that Dorian's actual pullover, then you have to take a trip there. Also, Dorian's Nautilus single arm curl and Dorian's original dumbbells, the Reg Park plates as well. So that's all in there. It's all been preserved. And then Charlie, who owns all the Ultraflex gyms as the main owner, he has all the other hammer strength blue temple stuff in another one, Leeds. So the Dorian stuff is all in circulation still. It can be used.
They're all in the UK. Are you, James? If I come to the UK,
I'll point you to the right gyms.
Yeah, will you? Okay. Fuck, I feel like gym touring right now.
I've got pictures of me with Dorian's pullover. I did a little shoot not long ago, so it's a good pullover. It's nice.
Quickly, guys. Like I know we don't have we've been going for a while.
I gotta go in like 1 minute, 2 minutes because I gotta.
You go ahead, Iain. Before you go, I want to ask you about Quinton in Toronto. What do you think?
What do I think about him in what regard? Like, do I think he'll win the show?
Placing. You think he's got it? Toronto, fellow Canadian.
Look, I'd love to bet on Quentin. I think he's an amazing bodybuilder. I think it's going to be a good lineup from what I've heard. We have Akeem in the show. Hassan Mustafa, I've heard people train at Pure that said that he looks good. So if his midsection's in control, I think he'll be very hard to beat. Andre Presti, still, Olympia level bodybuilder. I think Quentin can mix it up with all these guys, but I think I think there's still a little bit more time and maturity that's needed to the physique to beat some of these dudes, like Akeem or Hassan that are just super duper heavily muscled. So I think he's on the right trajectory. I think he just had a bad showing in New York.
Do you think he was really flat in New York?
Yeah, I think it was just they pushed a little hard the last few weeks, and he came down a little more than they probably wanted to try and get the conditioning where they wanted it to.
Yeah. Sometimes that backfires.
Yeah, you're pushing the conditioning hard, and you really start pushing the cardio and pushing the food down. And I think the things you kind of noticed the most was like the leg size started to diminish a little bit and things like that. Which if you're banging out 2 hours a day of cardio, could definitely happen. So, I think having some time between there, New York and Toronto, to get a bit more life and fullness back to his physique, I expect him to be better for sure, and definitely have some more pop and fullness to his physique. But do I think he can win? I don't think so. I think he'll be in the mix, and I think he'll definitely be in the first call with those guys.
Top five.
But I mean, anyone standing next to Akeem or Hassan, in a side chest or a side tricep or something like, or most muscular, like you're in for a tough day when those guys are hitting those shots.
Yeah, there's John Jewett's in there too.
And Jewett,
John Jewett just joined in. Yeah,
Jewett looks crazy good. So I mean, I think it's going to be a really good show. That, look, if Quentin was able to win it, I mean, that would be a massive feather in his cap and would be an amazing redemption arc after New York. But I think he needs still just a little more time to beat some of the guys that are in this lineup. I think he could win a show this year. I just don't know if this is the show that he could win.
Yeah.
It is home turf, so that's why I said, it would be.
Yeah,
nice.
no, I mean, sure, he should absolutely be doing the show. I mean, he's in shape from just doing New York. It's a show that's close to home. And even me, when I live in Ottawa doing Toronto Pro, like doing a show close to your home is just so much nicer. Like when you can pack up your own vehicle and drive there without your own shit, and like, let's be serious, you're not worrying about like fucking mailing drugs to yourself and shit. Like, it's so much easier. So,
we won't go there.
Yeah, exactly.
Be honest, Ian. Being Canadian,
Fucking Canadians.
You don't want any other Canadian winning the pro show. Come on now. You want?
No, I want no one catching me anytime soon. So
exactly.
No Paul Dillette, no contest, man, no contest. Paul Dillette was a big dude, but he's no Iain Valliere.
Well,
that's all I'm gonna say.
He might beat me heads up, but I still got more pro wins than him. So I'll take what I got every day.
Exactly.
Ian, before you leave, thanks for coming on. I'm going to get you next time I see you, or whenever, we're going to get you a t-shirt. No expectations for wearing them.
Sure. Awesome.
But,
good to see you guys.
Nice one, Ian.
Thank you.
See you guys.
See you.
And then there was 5.
And then there was 5, which is kind of opening up the venue a little bit more, which is nice. I want to talk
still got like America. We still got England and Australia.
And Australia, we're good.
We got Canada, England. We've got everyone. Yeah, we've got all.
And you got to remember,
right now.
I'm actually coming from the future because it's Friday here. So
he gives us a heads up about tomorrow.
Yeah. So if you're worried about the world ending, it doesn't. I'm already in the future. It's okay.
We're good.
Terrence, I really did want to talk to you, man. See what was going on with you. Again, we were talking about the '90s guys, and I still stand by this. You are the best poser of the modern era, and I think we can all speak to it. And that's what you bring to Classic. And just seeing your post the other day, kind of like, I don't know, man, it made me really emotional because just seeing that you felt a little bit of hardships in that division. The division's changing, and truth be told, I don't know if I like the way the division's kind of heading and it's been going. Like, I don't dislike it. I know it's an evolution, but I've seen it from the beginning. And I think like the division's getting a little bit, I think all the divisions are getting a little bit blurred, in my opinion. Open is obviously open still, but Classic and men's physique are getting a little bit blurred, in my opinion.
I feel like half the men's physique guys are too big.
Oh, they're huge.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't make much sense. It doesn't make sense. Like the men's physique doesn't make sense anymore. And I think Classic, You know, I always go by this. I think they should have like a classic tall and a classic short, like the old school
Yeah.
days.
What's your
Uh,
opinion, Ruff?
Oh no, I don't think no, I don't want to separate it. I mean,
you know,
I've beaten every single guy, every single person on that stage I've beaten at least once. I think people get caught up with like I don't look at things as like in the now, I look at things over a course of time, a period of time, a trend. And like I've only lost to 3 taller guys in my career. I'm honest, even backtracking, I'm the shortest dude on the stage. I'm 5'5". There's no one shorter than me at the Olympia for the most part.
Nothing wrong with 5'5". That's
Yeah,
I had no 212. That's the spirit.
The magic
exactly.
spot.
So I
wait a
mean,
second.
like people, and I get it. I get their point. Like they want to find reasons why I didn't win. You know, outside of like people being better than me on that day. And personally, like no, I just think those guys are better this past 2 years. Like I've lost about 10 pounds since my heaviest. And for me to still be top 5 at not my best, I think that's amazing. And like I see it every year. And even when I've placed second, even when I've won the Arnold, there were tall guys complaining about it's not fair for tall people. So I think it's just, I think it's, no, I don't think that should be a separate class, you know, not at all. I have the most pro wins in classic physique as well. So, I mean, I don't know, I think it's a 9 pro wins now in classic. That's more than any other person in the sport. So I don't think there should be a tall and short class personally.
Okay, okay. My bad. But you are like super consistent with things. So I just didn't see I don't see you degressing. I see you evolving. Like I see your physique and it looks good. But of course I'm not at the shows.
Nah, dude, I've been very unhappy with like my physique the past like 2 years. Like my heaviest, my last Arnold win, I was 179, and my past win this year I was 169. So I mean, obviously weight isn't everything, but like once again, if you're competing against guys that are like 6 foot, it does play a part, you know. Um,
Was it a peaking factor? Was it like the loading, the manipulation, your diet, like everything you think?
Personally, well, one thing I got some bad gear. That'd be one thing over a long period of time. I think that's some of the biggest issues of it. And then two, just dealing with like some sicknesses here and there, like small injuries here and there. I lost like 20 pounds from like getting sick, drinking some water overseas before a contest, and just
Shit.
trying to gain that size back is a bit difficult. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so
It's a
what's
tough one,
next?
isn't it?
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, like to know, like obviously I know I look great on stage, but like to know that you're not like I'm all about progression,
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
better
yeah.
every year, and not being like better than the year before is a little difficult. So yeah.
And the only way really to fix that is by just fingers crossed that some of these occurrences don't happen. Like you say, because these are things out of your control sometimes, just like a little niggle or an injury or a sickness bug. You just want a plain sailing off season that goes by that's like not
That's
much has
yeah.
affected it.
And that's the thing too, where fans come down on you if something happens. I'm thinking, wait a minute, this ain't a team sport. If you're on a team and you've got a little bug and sick, maybe the other eight
Fill
or
in for
nine
you.
players on the
Yeah.
team can carry you through. When it's just
Yeah.
you, it's like,
Uh,
oh, he's making excuses, he's doing this, he's doing. It's like, when your body's a fine-tuned machine, it's like, do you forget we're still human? We still get injuries, we still get sicknesses, and when you're that lean and that any little thing just seems to be multiplied, you're so susceptible to even something like the amount of food we eat with chicken and that. You get one bad piece of chicken and that fucks you up for God knows how long. It's like people just don't understand. It's like when your body is what you're
yeah.
using to make your money and you're putting on the line, any little thing can just like throw it way off.
Especially like the small injuries, like a big one, they obviously suck, but the small ones where you like go into the gym, you're trying to press the way you normally press, and then you can't. It's just like
They're the
hard.
worst.
Yeah, it pisses you
Yeah.
off. Like,
Right,
It's
I had that same
frustrating.
thing. I had that same thing you're talking about before the '06 Ironman. I was just doing overhead dumbbells, and I just got this real sharp pain in my elbow. So a month before the Ironman in '06, any type of pressing, if fuck, like someone putting a knife through my elbow. I was this close to pulling out of the contest. Luckily, I didn't because I won it. But I was that pissed off. Anything I did, push down, fuck, I can't do that. I can't do this. And like I said, I'd rather have a major injury where I know I can't train at
Yeah,
all.
yeah. You're like,
I'm
okay, that's
trying to work around something, and it's just pissing you off because everything you do, let me try to. I can't do that properly, or maybe I can do a little bit here, and then I sometimes hurt something else because I'm overcompensating for the injury that fucking I hurt something on this side. I'm like, this is just like a fucking house of cards. I'm falling down. Like,
it's
so I was like,
Collapses, right? First it's the
yeah,
tricep, then it's the shoulder, and then it's because you're
yeah.
compensating.
It's very frustrating to have these kind of things occur. I had it this year with my left leg getting ready for the Arnold. I hurt my leg 7 months ago now. And obviously going into prep and being like, okay, well, can't even use this leg properly.
yeah.
But it wasn't injured enough. It wasn't like I tore the quad off the bone. So it's that, okay, I got to get by because you got to be a little bit resilient because you don't want to be a pussy, basically. But at the same time, you add up all those workouts that weren't 100% and you know you're bound to not be your best. And it's like, for fuck's sake.
That's the thing. When you're getting ready for a contest, you want your diet 100%, your training, your sleep. Like I said, for a contest, if you're just at 1 or 2% off on something, it just fucks with your head because you feel like you're just missing that little bit. And then if you're thinking, my competition's probably got that extra 2% that I can't fucking do. So it's like, the whole head. I always tell people, get ready for contests. When I used to do my training, 2 to 3 hours of cardio, physically was a breeze. As those last month or so coming into the show, the last few weeks, I said, it's more mental than physical. It's all up here. You got to, have it up here. Like, that's the worst. The head games. Can I do a little bit better if I cut this out? Will that make me harder? If I add this in, will that make me better?
If I would have just like, let go on the carbs a little bit or increase the volume and when you're loading, that's the worst part, I think, when you're trying to peak.
I never did carb loading. I never did a peak week. To me, I did all my photo shoots 2 weeks out because we see it all the time, guys. 2 weeks out post photos, you're like,
fucking perfect.
This guy's going to win. Day to show, you're like,
oh shit.
Like I said, to me, it was like if I died at 16 weeks from the day one, I eat at this time, this food, I take whatever supplements and drugs, I do cardio, I train at this time. So for 16 weeks, I do the same thing. But a lot of people, if they're doing 16 weeks, 15 weeks, they're doing everything the same. That last week, they're like, I'm going to change the drugs. I'm going to change my food. I'm going to stop training on these days. And to me, when your body's that finely tuned, that last week, if you go making little changes, your body just goes, what the fuck you doing?
Yeah.
That's like, the only thing I did the last week was tan up and slowly cut my water down. And then if I was holding a little bit, I'd maybe take a little mod diuretic on the Thursday night, just half of one to see how it looked. Where I know people will take a whole one and then take 2. It's like, I'll just take a little bit to see how I looked then. If that looked good, I wouldn't take any more. So I said, but we always think that last week we've got to do some
magic.
Hocus. But it's like, hey, if you're looking great, don't touch it because you look great. And that's the thing too, because sometimes you can be ready early and you think, I haven't really suffered enough. Even though I've suffered, I got to be doing something because I feel too good and look too good. I got to change last week. And generally, like I said, a small change when you're in that peak condition and your body's that finely tuned, something small can throw it off. And then we've all done it a day or two later. You're like, oh, fuck, now look at me. If the show was today.
I look great. Yeah. I competed a regional and that just happened to me 3 days later. I'm like, fuck, why didn't I show up like this 20 pounds heavier?
I feel like 50% of the time I do it wrong. 50%, as much as that.
That's what I like about James, because you're similar to me. You're doing it yourself, you're learning, and I think that's the best way. Yes, it's good to have an extra set of eyes and have someone help you, but really no one knows your body better than you. If you go to someone, really in the beginning, they're just going to experiment with you by giving you foods, giving you drugs. How do you feel? How's it work? And I always did it myself. And, someone might say, Lee, you should try this. I'm like, I don't really like that. The lowest I went on carbs was probably 250 grams a day. Once I tried 50 grams, I'm like, fuck this shit. And I just went on a pig binge. So the lowest I went was 250. And then the one time I tried carb loading, I didn't really like it, because some people do when they carb load, they might be saying say you're having 50 grams a day or 100, but then they go 1,000. It's like, you probably don't need that much. Even if you just added in an extra 150 a day, when you're at that level, that's going to make a difference rather than go too far too quick. So it's always that fine tuning. But yeah, that's why I like when James, you're just working it out for yourself or taking notes.
And I nearly got it right. In the US this year, I quite like the look. I was just not quite dry enough. And then I fucked it for the second one. So it's one of those, isn't it? And I only made small differences, but small differences go a long way. And I noticed that between 2 shows, sometimes the worst thing you do is push harder. and I got out of the Arnold US, and I was like, I can get leaner. So I started pushing the cardio harder, and it took from my body parts. So sometimes
That's what I
you should
mean.
just
That's where it's that head game. You think if I just do this little more, it's going to make me that bit better. And the same thing happened to me once when I was doing a couple of shows. I thought I could do more cardio and do this. And actually had said the body started going backwards. It's almost like the body said, I've had enough. I don't care what you're doing. I'm not going to react anymore. I'm just going to go the opposite way.
Yeah. James, sometimes that happens, right? I mean, you find out go for that graininess, but then you just don't fill out those body parts that you want to fill out. But you're always grainy. I look at your pictures and they're like phenomenal. I mean, the past 2 shows you've done, I thought you were spot on.
it's the balance of getting that fullness and that pressure under the skin is really difficult. So what I know about me, I don't think diuretics are good for me. I've done them at the last 2 shows, and I'm honest now, I don't think there's any point ever doing them again because they take away that pressure, the muscle pressure that I need in order to look my best. Because if you look at me like a few days before training with like Branch or somebody, I know everyone looks better in the gym, but diuretics every time make me look that little bit softer and that bit smaller.
Bit softer and flatter. I was talking to Joe because this prep I started with aldactone because I got a bunch of aldactone, and I'm like, I'm going to start with a little bit of aldactone, just see for 2 days. Completely fucked everything up. I said, I got to get this aldactone out. And that's when the skin isn't sucked to the.
It's not
pressure. That's right.
Yeah,
the muscles are full to the skin. And then you're battling, you're taking another diuretic to get that water under the skin out, and it's just.
But then you're posing on stage, and you actually just fade more because you've been passing too much fluid. You're not storing enough in you to get a pump.
Well,
there's so many things that are stupid.
Those pictures of when you see those pictures of James in the gym leading up to the show, I look at them and I'm thinking to myself,
bro, I thought it was top 3.
If James just teens up now and just slowly cut his water, doesn't do anything. I mean, and don't even I used to have maybe 8 liters Monday, 7 liters Tuesday, but even the day before the show, I still have 1.5 liters just sipping it throughout the day. But it's like you said, for some reason we all think we got to do something because it's like, yes, I look good, but I got to do something to look better. Whereas if you just went on stage looking like that, you'd probably just blow everyone away like, boom, wow, look at him. Look, the best he's ever looked. But it's that head game the last few days where you think you got to do something when you shouldn't have to do anything. It's almost like if you made a cake and you decorate it, you decorate a cake, you go, maybe if I just add a bit more icing here, then you go, oh, now it looks like shit. Just leave it alone. Don't.
Advocate who's done the kind of manipulations and had it gone right. Because I've when I was younger, the first shows I did, actually Iain was my coach one year. Iain, who just I wish he was still here. But we did the aldactone thing. We did a couple of other manipulations, and I came in so fucking skin tight, like it was perfect. But now it seems like as my body ages, as I continue to grow, as things continue to change, my body doesn't want to do it anymore. Doesn't want to do those manipulations. Maybe it's age, I don't know.
I think it's also because those manipulations go hand in hand with another manipulation, and it's the synergy between those choices you make. Because I worked with Vecito one year, and I have to say, he was brilliant at getting your body primed in the last few days, getting the water out but not losing any pop. And it would have been down to just the calls he was making coherently with each other. Whereas if you don't know the whole equation, there's just no fucking point. Because we all know you can take a diuretic, but then we don't know what to do alongside it. That's the problem I find. It's knowing how to act alongside the choice you make. So it's better to not make a choice and do like what Lee said. And just, flow into the show, treat it like a normal training week. And like you say, just maybe reduce your water slightly. Obviously, if you're not bone dry already, because some people aren't dry, it's just the way people are, then I wouldn't know what to advise. Because I know people that are lean, but not dry. So what do you do about that?
But I've always just said, if you're not, always, like I said, err on the side of caution. If you are going to do diuretics, that's why I said I'd start with 1/4 or 1/2, because I know some will take a whole 1 or 2 of them. And once you've got it in your system and it's pulled all the water out, it's hard to get it back in to get that fullness back. So even if you are holding a little bit, just on maybe the Wednesday or Thursday, just take half and then see how you look the next day. Maybe you only need 1/4 or 1/2 rather than go whole hog and you pump them in. Then it's like you said, you get that flatness and stuff, and because of the shows coming up and you got all the stress, you just don't get that fullness and that grainy look back again.
Yeah, and that's the problem. It's that head game, man, and it's that just too many manipulations. And I think Lee, you're right. Like either you go in doing whatever the fuck you were gonna do the day after the show, or you go in 3 weeks before the show, like the way you
Well,
look
I did that at the 2000 Night of Champions. I looked the best ever because I always said, fuck, why is it you look the best a day or two after when you've had a bit of food, you had drinking,
drop the diuretics, drink some
And I
water,
remember
normal.
the Night of Champions 2000 that Jay won, and I ended up getting fifth, but everyone says I looked the fullest. I weighed 218 on stage, and the crowd was booing like shit when I got fifth. But the day before, I was at the diner near the theatre, and I was eating fucking spaghetti and meatballs. I didn't drink anything. I was just eating and eating. And people are like, aren't you competing tomorrow? And I'm eating chocolate cake. I'm like, yeah. And I'm thinking,
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna look great.
I'm thinking, Lee, this is going to work, or it's going to be the dumbest thing you've ever fucking done. You fucked up your diet in one day. But I went on stage so full and hard and big. It's probably one of my best looks when I got the hair super blonde and that at the 2000 Night of Champions. And it worked well. But even that night, though, I kept waking up. I'm like,
please go flat.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me go in the bathroom, turn the light on, half asleep. I still look okay. It's still good. How many hours did the show? All right, hold it there. Don't
It'll digest. It'll digest in time.
The head game when you do that, it's just like, holy fuck.
I did that at my pro debut, boys.
Joe had to be out at 3:30, so we're kind of running.
Yeah,
so you gotta head.
Yeah, then I gotta get out. Sorry.
And
3:30,
so
what do you
Terrence,
mean? It's only 5:30 in the morning. Come on, people, what are you doing? I know what you're all thinking. How does Lee look so good at this hour of the morning? I tell you, it's a gift. Like,
you know,
it's my AI filter on here.
Yeah.
and Terrence, are you ready to go train or something?
No, I gotta go see Hunter for some other stuff.
Oh, sick. Okay, sick.
Say hello to Hunter.
Yeah, we'll do.
So yo, and I'll be in Texas. I'm in Texas this month coming, and again the following month. So make sure you're still there, man. Don't go back to.
So
Tampa.
no one's going to Toronto.
Toronto, no, never.
No,
oh man, come on!
I'm probably the only one going there. So.
Yeah, it's local for Joe.
All right, fair enough.
Fuck Trudeau. No one wants to come to Canada.
Yeah, nobody does want to go to Canada right now, so I don't blame you. Okay, well, you know what? It's been an honor to have you guys on again.
I
My
wish we
favorite
could
classic physique guy.
keep talking longer because in 30 minutes I got to go meet my training partner for legs, and I don't want to do legs. I've been putting them off for a week and a half. That's how long.
Good. Run over some. No, it's been a pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
And James, it's always a pleasure, man. You add so much quality to the podcast, talking about training, your training philosophies. I love it. I love having you on, man.
Well, we'll do it again. We'll have a thorough catch up. I'm always up for catching up with you guys. So make sure you have a good day, and we'll do it again.
You. And hey, how's shipping to the UK? Would you wear a big deal Little Joe shirt or?
Yeah, I'll wear it. I'll probably cut the sleeves off and make it armless because I do that.
You want an armless? I got some stringers. You want? Here,
whatever you want to do. Guys? You send whatever you want over.
All right, guys,
I'll represent. Easy, Ruff.
All right, thanks, man.
Okay, Ruff. Thank you for coming on. It's
Jay's
been a
got
pleasure,
well.
man. Yeah, you want a stringer, James?
Send me one.
I'll have to get you. I got these from China. That's the problem. I get them from Amazon, and they're all like fucking extra small.
You need a 5X if it's from China.
What do you want, Lee? What do you want, Lee? I'm sending you one. You got to get me your address.
I just wear T-shirts. I'll send you the address. Yeah.
Okay.
Do they come with the muscles already in them? Because that's what I need. Does it come with the muscles?
No, come on. I can't believe for your age how well you like. I mean, it's just funny getting older myself, how well people keep. And I'm like, yeah, it's not bad, man. The older you get, the fresher you look.
I should have had a bad chest infection the last 2.5 weeks. And while I had the chest infection, I went and got my heart scanned, like the ultrasound.
Yeah.
And they're like your infractions down. I'm like, and then I Google infraction down. Oh, fuck, heart disease. Yeah. Now I've got a bit of a cough. And then my doctor's like, don't panic. It's just because you had the chest infection. You're on the antibiotics. I said, but my infraction's down by 8% from the last test. And so I'm Googling it now. I'm thinking, I'm going to fuck.
What are you, like a 52, Lee? Or is it like a 52? Because 60
normally mine was like, they say 50 to 70 is normal. Mine's always been around 58. But because it was down near 50, I'm like, oh, that's dropped. it's the end. I'm on my way out. And now any
I know,
little, I did chest the
okay.
other day.
You're
I did
okay.
chest the other day, and after chest, it was a bit sore. I'm like, is that my heart or is it chest pain? Oh, fuck, this is it. Now let me get another aspirin. I've probably been taking that many aspirin the last few days.
Fuck, doctors
Careful.
love to scare us. No,
Careful.
you're okay in the 50s, man. You're okay. At 55 in the 50s, you're good.
I know, but it's just that head game that plays you when something goes down. You're like, is there something wrong? Is that it? So every little thing I get now.
Because
But
as a
then I get a
bodybuilder,
bit-
as soon as you feel something here, like it could be a pec, this, you
Yeah.
train your pec so too hard, and
Yeah.
you're like, is it? Oh shit, it's just my back,
Well, I did. I've been doing boxing for cardio the last like couple of months because my injuries are okay now. And this week I've done boxing 3 times. I'm like, if I can get through boxing, my cardio's okay. My heart hasn't given out. I'm okay. So that's it.
I see Joe's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Okay,
Yeah,
guys.
my girl just started doing cardio in the back, so you can probably hear that.
Lee,
He's on
yeah,
the
he's
treadmill.
he's got to go meet some people. So let's cap it. Lee, will you come back on too? Can I ask you a big
Definitely.
favor?
Definitely.
Okay,
Sure.
man, I want to talk old school. I want to talk about the old school training, old school guys. I love
Then I
having
can
you on.
read the, then I can read the comments. Oh, you old people. That's all you talk about the old days. Blah blah.
Yeah, let us be old. Fuck.
Exactly.
We're entitled to it.
These young kids today have to get to our age.
James, send me your address in the UK. Thank you
I
so
will
much,
do.
man.
No worries, buddy.
We
Great
love you
seeing you,
here,
James.
okay?
All
We'll
right,
see you
guys.
guys all
Yes,
soon.
Say hi
Have a good
again.
rest of the day.
Again, what's that?
Have a good rest of the day, guys.
You too, James. Thank you.
Tell Yannick I
Thank you,
said hi,
Lee.
James.
I will. Drop her a message. She'll love to hear from you, Lee.
I will.
See you in a bit, buddy.
Okay, bye.
Bye, guys.
Here, guys. Take care, Joe. Thanks a lot.
No problem, man.
Bye, Joe.
See you.
Bye.